stop asking for permission to be a grown woman. I want to start a series on basic behaviors that quietly devalue you, and you probably don't even notice that you're doing them. And the first one is this: seeking approval and permission. And I don't mean asking for support. I don't mean getting wise counsel. I don't mean being open to feedback. I mean, when you're a grown woman, but you still move through life like somebody else has to approve of your decisions before you trust yourself. Is that a life you want to live, for someone else to approve of your decisions before you are allowed to trust yourself? Should I post this? Should I charge that? Should I leave him? Should I say no? Should I be upset? Should I stop explaining myself? At some point, goddess, you have to realize you're not a little girl waiting to be dismissed from the classroom. You are a grown woman. You are a goddess. And the moment you keep looking around for permission, people can feel that. Men can feel it, friends can feel it, family can feel it, clients can feel it, predatory, narcissistic people can feel it. And if the wrong person notices that you don't trust your own authority, they will gladly become the authority over you. They will tell you what you should accept, what you should tolerate, what you should charge, what you should forgive, what you should shrink yourself into. And it will always conveniently benefit them. That's why seeking permission devalues you. Not because you're not valuable, but because it communicates, I don't trust myself to lead my own life. And that is a sign that you have a wounded inner masculine. And your feminine is also wounded. And when you don't trust yourself, people stop treating you like a woman with standards. And they start treating you like somebody they can negotiate with. Is that what you want, goddess? No, right? This is why you keep asking 10 people what to do when you already know the truth. That's why you keep explaining your standards to people who benefit from you not having any. That's why you keep waiting for a man to understand before you move. Goddess, no. Stop it. You're a goddess. Act like it. You don't need permission to honor what your body already knows. You don't need permission to leave a table where love is not being served. You don't need permission to want more for your life. You don't need permission to become the woman you keep meeting in your vision. And yes, you're allowed to make mistakes. That's another thing that women need to hear, because women are crucified in society for making mistakes. You're allowed to choose wrong. You're allowed to pivot. You're allowed to reroute. You're allowed to say, actually, this doesn't work for me anymore. A mistake does not mean you failed. A mistake is just your internal GPS saying rerouting so it can align you where you need to actually be. But some of you are so scared to make the wrong move that you make no move. And then you call it being feminine. No, baby, that's not being feminine. That is not femininity. That is fear dressed up as patience. A feminine woman can receive guidance, yes, but she does not abandon her own inner authority. Remember what I always tell you. Your intuition is your life coach. Learn to listen to it. She can listen, she can consider, she can be open, but she does not hand the steering wheel of her life to people who are not qualified to drive it. So next time you feel yourself about to ask, should I do this? Pause and ask yourself this: am I seeking wisdom or am I seeking permission? Because wisdom expands you, permission shrinks you. And a grown woman do not need to be approved before she moves. She moves, she learns, she reroutes, and she keeps becoming. This is how you stop devaluing yourself. And this is exactly why I'm creating something deeper, because this is not just about one behavior. This is about identity. This is the difference between a woman who knows herself, she leads herself, and she trusts herself, and a woman who's still unconsciously still operating from little girl patterns. And a lot of women were never taught how to make that transition, because there's still a lot of your parents are still little girl are grown-ups in adult bodies. So they never taught you how to be a woman. They grew older, but they never actually grew into womanhood. And that's what I'm changing. I'm building something called the Feminine Reboot. If you love the Feminine Reset, this is going to change your life. The Feminine Reboot is where I take you through the actual process of how to think like a woman, how to regulate like a woman, how to move like a woman, and how to stop abandoning yourself in the process. Because this work, it goes deeper than just dating and men. Men come later. You shouldn't even be thinking about men if you don't know how to be a woman, because they will eat you up and spit you out. And if you feel like this is hitting something in you, then you're exactly who this is for. I recommend you start with the feminine reset and then you move on to the feminine reboot. And I cannot wait to see you inside my community, because that's exactly what I'm gonna help you support do in my community. The links are in my bio. I love you. I hope this video helped. Remember, you're a goddess. Act like it, and I love you. Mwah. Bye.